Are there any toxic relationships right now?
With the Leafs?
Yes.
Me and myself. Me and Leaf Nation and Keith Pelly.
Not a Keith fan?
No.
Why?
Not a hockey guy.
Not a hockey.
Not a hockey guy. Doesn't know anything about the game. You can't run an organization. Like, seriously, did he ever play? Does he come from a hockey background? No, he's a corporate guy that Rogers put in to
jack ticket prices up
to make money.
Clearing the crease. Oh. Clearing the crease. Aye.
It is a family edition of the Clearing the Crease podcast powered by Ozone. Everybody, well played. Well played. I'm James Cebulski. You know, Commie Razor. Uncle Barney's back here with this edition as well. And this week's guest, I don't know if you know what you're getting in for here. The Hockey Illuminati himself.
Pleasure to be here, fellas. I'm glad you sat me next to the former Leaf, too.
Yes, sir. I wore blue for you, too.
That was by
design.
Yes, I
You're a
appreciate that.
masochist.
Oh, big time.
You're a
Yeah.
masochist.
Yeah, give it to me.
Barney, like as a guy on the ice who loved to stir things up, I'm sure you heard the business end of a lot of fans' mouths over the years, so you could back and forth, I'm sure. But like diehards, like did you chirp a lot of fans?
All the time. Yeah. Actually, one time in Carolina it happened, and I almost, they were giving it to me pretty good. I made some gestures back to them. Got a call, actually, from Gary Bettman.
Come on.
These people, it was so bad what I did, and I can't even say it because it's that bad. But let's just say I made gestures towards the mom.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, and her two kids were there. But no, these guys were giving me...
Kids were there right there?
The kids, I came off the ice, and I was getting into it on the ice, so I can't remember with who, I think Byron Ritchie. And they're literally giving me the finger. Like, they're giving it to me right behind the bench.
So you came back firing.
I came back hard.
Yes.
I mean, I came from the top rope, Superfly snug up. Like, it was bad what I did. The four fans, the mom, the dad, the two kids, they returned their season tickets to the NHL.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
It was that bad.
What did the commissioner?
The commissioner said, you cannot do this. He goes, we should suspend you or fine you, but we don't want to bring light to it. So I got away with it, but that was the worst. And, Philadelphia was bad. Toronto was bad, too. Like,
What Leaf fans?
Yeah, Leaf fans are bad. Well, they're delusional, right? So, the stuff they come up with,
We used to be bad. Now the real fans don't get into the rink anymore.
Yeah, no, it's just corporate.
It's a shame. It's a shame that our atmosphere has been corporatized to the max.
Yeah.
And you see other atmospheres, Philly, Montreal, Buffalo, like that rambunctiousness, the energy. Leaf Nation has that potential. It was kind of like that a little bit at the tail end when you were there.
Yeah.
But really in the heart of the Sundin era, that's when we saw it. And that's when you had fans going out. You guys remember the story when someone threw a waffle at Colby Armstrong?
I was there.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was me that did that.
Oh, you did it.
I threw a waffle. I told Colby. It was me.
Yeah.
He was on the ice and you hit him with a waffle?
I
Or threw it
tried
out?
to hit him.
Yeah.
My aim wasn't that good. But
Good try.
yeah, but I mean, again, we used to have that type of atmosphere, but
Now all the fans are outside because it's too expensive?
the diehard fans are, in their basement in Oshawa, watching at home on TV. They're in Peterborough watching, listening on the radio. The other problem with Scotiabank and where the Leafs play is that the rink is kind of inaccessible. I don't want to say inaccessible, but it's in the heart of this major city.
Where do you park?
Where do you park?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, do you got $60 for parking?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And a lot of people, it's just become a burden. It's become a pain in the ass to come watch the Leafs.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's such a shame that we have this potential to have these types of atmospheres, and it's we're suffocated.
You can't complain about having a downtown arena. As two guys who grew up in Ottawa, it was a dream to go to an NHL game, but when it took one game to kind of drive out to the OG Palladium or Corel Center, Canadian Tire, and it was wait, that just took 2 hours, and that's sitting in traffic.
For 8 years, I've lived on the east side of Orleans,
Oshawa,
where you're from.
Yeah.
And it's quicker for me to go to Montreal,
Yes.
jump on a train.
I
go to
used to say that
Montreal.
all the time.
All the time. Going back to your thing about the fans, my favorite was Philadelphia. because they are nuts. I don't care if you're a Flyers fan, an Eagles fan. I don't know much about the Phillies, but they're nuts. And the stuff they would
Phillies are
scream
mine
out,
too,
but it was great. Like some of my best lines, I loved interacting with the fans because it would pump me up even more. Like I'd get death threats when you'd go in for the playoffs.
Oh, anger.
People screaming at you, you suck, this and that, and that's great language. But you don't just respond like, oh my God, like if a guy's yelling beside his wife as you're coming off, you're like, hey, enjoy that work shift at 6 a.m., buddy. Thanks for paying my salary. Or, oh my God, how'd you get out of my room this morning? And now you're with your husband. Thanks, buddy. Like, or you're going home to do what?
And you're doing that in Philly?
Oh, well, everywhere. Everywhere. But Philly was especially good. I'm a Jets fan. I'm a New York Jets fan.
Yeah.
So I'm delusional.
Sorry to hear
too.
that.
Yeah, hey.
Sorry to hear that,
We're
yeah.
both in the same
I like
boat.
how you're
it's a good boat to be in.
jet coordinated today.
Jet coordinated, yep.
While we're on the topic of arenas, what is going on? I put this down in my notes.
Yeah.
What was the name of that arena? What's going on? The one where you went, I saw you in front of like city council. You were talking the one you wanted to
Weston
save.
Lions Arena.
So what's going on
Yes,
there?
okay. So we have saved that.
Congratulations.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, nice. I saw your video.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Was that
Seeing
city
on
council?
So I did a deputation. I went in front of city
Yeah,
council.
you were good.
Yeah, I was
I watched
fired
the
up,
whole
buddy.
thing, or
I felt-
whatever was online.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. I felt like I was walking into Game 7.
Yeah.
You know, like
Oh, you were good. I
like,
was like, holy shit.
overtime.
Frank's good at this.
You know, I was like in the hallway, like, because you have 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
So basically, I gave a deputation, a speech to Toronto City Council members who had voted to knock down this historic hockey rink.
Yep.
And this is one of the other problems with Toronto, okay? Is that the city has gone so delusional, not just the fans, but the team, just the corporate suffocation of everything, including our culture, and like they're slowly destroying parts of our history to build condos, okay, and just develop.
Yeah.
Anyways, the second oldest rink in the GTA, Weston Lions Arena, behind Maple Leaf Gardens, okay, they voted to knock it down,
Yeah.
and the community rallied, and there was an opportunity to speak before council on the matter.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a last-ditch thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, again, in the hall, like I was preparing all day. I had 5 minutes to talk to them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what's the best speech a coach ever gave you, like before a game? Like, is there one that stands out maybe before a big game where you're like, the coach came in and he's like, damn, you really got me fired up?
And, you know, anytime I had a speech to me, it was like, don't take a stupid penalty, idiot. That was kind of the gist of any of my coaches' speech to me.
Okay.
Daryl Sutter was pretty good. I can't remember. I don't remember any speeches in particular. And kind of same as Bart. I preferred if nobody talked to me because usually if they were talking to me, it means I screwed up.
Yeah.
But Daryl was pretty
There's a
good at
theme here.
pissing people off.
Yeah.
And then guys would get so mad at him. Like I remember one in Craig Conroy in particular. I can't remember exactly what he said, but we were down a couple goals in Calgary. You know, I wasn't in Calgary long, but Daryl kept pushing Craig's buttons.
Okay.
Like little jabs in the room.
Yeah.
And I was on the other side of the room. And I only played 18 games there, period. So obviously I wasn't there long.
And you run the alumni.
And I run the alumni. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm
Former
like,
Flames great.
Craig Conroy is getting pissed off. And finally, and Daryl had his hands on his knees. He's going back and forth like this. And I'm watching Craig, and Craig is about to explode. Finally, Daryl says one more thing to me, like just little jabs. I can't remember what they were. Craig explodes. We're going out for the third period.
Yeah.
Craig snaps, explodes. You, Daryl, this and that. Runs out of the room. We're all sitting there. I'm like, wow, this is interesting.
Yeah.
We were down by 2-3 goals. We went in the third period, kicked their ass, won the game.
Amazing,
kicked back.
yeah,
Oh,
love
and
that.
Daryl was so pumped. Like Daryl was very good at that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Excellent.
Anyways.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's kind of how I was feeling, like a coach going in to give a pump-up speech to city council, and let it be a lesson, because this is a theme, unfortunately, in Canada, where we are tearing down hockey rinks.
Yeah.
They've tried to do it in Toronto. They tried to do it to Moss Park.
Okay.
It was another historic rink, and the community did rally and stop. And I got messages from other people, you know, over across the country in Ontario. Oh, I wish we had you in this town a couple of years ago.
I'm sure it's happening lots of
It
places.
happens everywhere. So just let it be a lesson. Like whenever unelected officials try to tear down a hockey rink or rip away a piece of our culture, no, like the hockey community is resilient.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't just band together to fight for one another on the ice. You know, it's about other things too. So
Yeah.
it was a cool demonstration of how the
good job.
hockey
Yeah.
world
You did a
could
good
come
job.
together.
Yeah.
Everybody reshared it, and now they're saving it.
Yeah,
Great.
awesome.
Good.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Let's talk a little bit about your growth to go from Frank Krupe diehard hockey fan,
Throwing
love
waffles
the
on
Leafs.
the ice.
To sit next to the guy who was in net that night.
To give a new meaning to Lego My Ego, to all of a sudden becoming the hockey Illuminati, to where like you have become a very successful hockey influencer here now.
Yeah, within Leaf Nation for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely like one of the voices, one of the key guys.
But you've made it onto other podcasts beyond just ours, and you've got a profile.
You know what? It really started during COVID. We were all locked down, and we were spending a lot of time either consuming content
Or wine.
Yes, that as well. But it was like, okay, we're locked down, we're sitting around, I'm just gonna start making videos for fun. We got nothing else to do. And that's kind of how the Illuminati evolved, just being goofy. And as time went on, I was just creating videos almost like just life as a Leaf fan through my eyes. Totally unfiltered. Here's what I see, here's how I feel. It's raw, it's just me, and people resonate with that. Slowly, and I mean, it's kind of funny how it snowballed.
Well, there's got to be a couple of celebs who I'm sure have liked or followed along. Like, is there any names out there?
I got 4 right here.
Yeah, guys, you would have grown up watching, but
That shirt too is timeless. You'll be able to wear that forever. That's great. 30 years from now.
I love how we tried to kill you with kindness and the curse.
Yeah. I'll get you one. What size are you?
I am a medium.
Yeah. Okay.
You can just put ...
Yeah. Hey, we're trying, buddy. We're doing, and that's also part of their brand too. Is like, what can fans do to make a difference? I mean, we have fun with this curse concept, and that is a real thing, by the way. We do have to address that. But how can the fans support the team and contribute as almost members of the team, and not just as bystanders watching? You know what a big problem in Leaf Nation is? And this is a real thing. There's a collective consciousness around Leaf Nation where we have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of Leaf fans, and also non-Leaf fans, that every single year, what do they think? Oh, they're not going anywhere. Oh, they're not. They're done. They're done. Think about it. Everything is energy. We know this. Thoughts are real things. And you literally, how you guys know is you're pro athletes, okay? You know it's all in between the pipes, right?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah, sure.
And when you have tens of thousands of people that every single year are thinking, oh, the Leafs aren't going anywhere. They're going to lose again another Game 7. Does that energy hover over the team, hover over into the subconscious of players?
But that's generational. Right?
And
It's not just
worse.
it's not just kids right now.
Yeah.
It's not just your generation. It's your parents, but it's also your grandparents. Like, you're talking 4 generations,
Right.
so there's an element of the
deep.
body of evidence. It goes deep.
It's deep.
Yeah.
It's deep, yeah.
It doesn't overflow to the players, though. When guys get into that room in training camp, they believe they're going to win the Stanley Cup. They believe they'll be playoff team. And
You don't
they'll
feel
go far.
the energy?
No.
In a building?
I mean, you feel the energy, but you, as an athlete, you believe that you're going to win. You believe that you're going to win the game. You believe you're going to make the playoffs. You believe you can make a run. Now, you guys are realistic, too.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm playing in Tampa and we weren't very good, I'm praying to make the playoffs. I'm not thinking about a Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
There's
because
only
you played in
once-
noisy markets.
Yeah. There's only one time I felt I really had a chance to win a Stanley Cup, and that was in Colorado.
Right.
Like all the other teams,
Yeah.
I didn't know if we had the goaltending. I didn't know if we were deep enough. I didn't know if we had the scoring. But when we went into a game, we believed we were going to win, or thought we were going to win on some teams. In Colorado, we went in expecting to win.
Mm-hmm.
And some teams in Tampa or Buffalo, depending on how your team was made up, you're hoping to win. And there's a big difference.
You played in noisy markets.
Yep.
Kami, yours were a little quieter, so I go to you after this. But but you were in Calgary, but at the same time, like from your standpoint, could you feel the noise, or like what Frank's talking about, or would you?
Well, in
subscribe
Vancouver,
to
it was
what?
the good noise, right? Like, I was on a great team. Like,
Yeah.
everybody expected us to win. We had the Twins, we had Roberto, we had
Yeah.
Kess, we had all those guys. So I think at times the Leafs have had, but when I was in Toronto, we knew we sucked, right? Like, we knew we were bad in 07, 08. I mean, we knew we didn't have anybody. Like, there was salary cap issues and all of that stuff, right? Like, we didn't have good players, but.
And do you feel the noise from the outside?
You do. But again, what's interesting about Toronto is, like, they've actually had good teams before, like in the last couple of years. Like, they had a really good team that should have beat Boston two or three of those years.
Many
Game
times.
sevens,
Sure.
the whole thing. They had the goaltending.
Should have beat Columbus.
They had
Should
Montreal,
Montreal, like
Tampa, they had a 3-2
bad
lead
coaching.
the first
Florida.
time they played them. Yeah.
So what's happened now? And obviously I grew up, I've been
Sorry.
around Boston. When they broke the curse in Boston. They had to do it from 3 love down to the Yankees. They needed to do it in extra innings. They needed to get lucky.
Yeah.
And they had a group of guys that really, for a lack of a better term, didn't give a shit about the North. Like Pedro didn't give a shit.
Bunch of jerks, right?
They were drinking whiskey before. Like they did.
They went hard.
Yeah.
So that's,
David Ortiz,
that's what's
big
going to be
coffee.
hard about getting hockey guys.
Damon and Veritek and all,
Hockey guys to be able to do that in Toronto. Like that's how I see Toronto winning a Stanley Cup, is having that kind of a group of people.
Yeah.
Like literally 20 Brad Marchands. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A group that truly doesn't care, because the guys in Toronto have always cared. Right? When you go to Toronto, you knew those guys heard shit. You knew they got it beat down, and you knew that you could get them. Right? On a Saturday night, you're going into Toronto, like, you know, we're going to get these guys.
Isn't that the outside noise right now that they don't give a shit?
Well, yeah, but it's in the wrong way.
Exactly,
Right? It's
yeah.
in the wrong way.
Yeah,
They need
yeah.
it. They literally need guys that, who's going to win who's won cups, who don't really worry about another cup or don't worry about all of that. That's how it's going to be. I think of the Red Sox and drinking whiskey before every game.
I think it's a great point.
That's how the Leafs are going to win.
I drink whiskey before a
And
game.
it's
I'm gonna end
not
up in
with.
prison. We do the light stuff.
You just stick to water.
Yeah.
You don't need any whiskey.
The Jubilee water, right? Little vodka. Yeah.
So, Frankie, here we are. We wanted to bring in here and we wanted to talk about some good times and all the feels, but then we thought, you know what? Let's shake it up. Let's have Barney here, the Keep It Real police, to also help be mindful of this. And we thought we would tee you up. What are, we have Ozune well played or not. And in this particular case, we are going to lean towards the not. What are the 5 most heartbreaking moments in your Leaf fandom?
This is fun.
And Barney, I want you to kind of
Okay. For every fan's gonna have a different outlook on
but
this,
what's your
depending on
my 5?
generation. Okay, I put the Habs loss, the 3-1 loss, above all else.
The
Above
Habs
all
loss.
else, yes, because it was against the Habs, our biggest rivals. It was against a team that, in a regular year, wouldn't have made the playoffs because of the Canadian COVID alignment.
Yes, the
So
North
they were
Division.
a team that
yeah.
was
Yeah.
on paper horrendous. Like going into that. Well, I shouldn't say horrendous.
No, you're right.
They weren't very good.
And
They're a
Carey
better
Price, right? And so
Leveled
3-1 lead, and that for me is, I put that a notch higher than the Boston collapse, because the Boston collapse happened in 12 minutes, and that was against a team that we weren't expected to beat. Everyone in the world expected the Leafs to. That should have been the Leafs coming out year.
Yes.
They had just blown the bubble to Columbus. You had the back-to-back Boston losses prior to COVID. That we finally had a good group then. The decor was solid. Goaltending was clicking. We had like Spezza, and it was a good team.
Yeah.
So that's number 1. The Boston collapses too. I remember, Barnaby, you fought Domi one time and the refs broke it up, and I was really upset.
Yeah. You want to see him pound the shit
Yeah, I
out
want
of
to see
me?
him pound the shit out of you. Yeah, he was.
I'm glad the refs broke it up.
Yeah, he had you, and
Yeah.
he got one in. I don't know if you remember that. I checked out a couple
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
way, and they broke it up. I was like, I would have loved to see Barney get
Yeah. Well, there's 4 other times where he f***ing pumped me.
right.
so.
There you go. Yeah. But I wanted that 5th time though.
Yeah.
Honorable mention for that one. When they raised ticket prices again last year.
Isn't it wild?
Okay.
Here's
wild.
another.
What are they up to?
Tack another 20% on, fellas. Well, I don't know. I stopped counting. I can't count that high. I don't know.
Got it.
But no, that's another honorable mention. The worst things started to go downhill when they traded Kadri. They traded
was ran out of town, too.
When they traded Kadri, a little bit. But it was. This is number 3 now. It was a knee-jerk reaction. Okay, they had just lost to Boston again. He had just taken another suspension.
But that was a second straight. Was that second or third straight year that he had been suspended in the playoffs?
Second
right?
straight
And that's
year.
like,
Now,
ugh.
the second time around, the first one was nasty. The second one was a little like that wasn't as bad, but because
But he was a known offender. I think
Exactly.
probably guilty.
And you pay the Leafs tax,
Yeah.
and they.
Oh, here we go.
The Leafs tag.
It's a real thing.
Leafs tag.
No, it's a.
my
Don't get me started,
goodness.
fellas. It's a real thing. Okay. I'm telling you. Okay. Anyways,
Just for anybody out there that's not a Leafs fan, explain the Leafs
what's the
tags
Leafs
from the
tags?
Hockey Illuminati
there's,
standpoint.
so there's two aspects to it. The first aspect is that literally you have to pay players more to stay here, okay? Because of the.
That's a Canadian thing too.
But it's yes,
Yeah,
it
I don't
is,
think that's
but,
a Toronto thing.
But it's a Toronto thing too because life is more expensive in Toronto.
Yeah.
Okay, life is more expensive in Toronto.
Then New York,
but
then other places.
I understand that, but you have to. No one's taking discounts in Toronto. Who's
No.
taking discounts in Toronto?
And I agree with you.
Wait a minute.
What
I mean,
I'm
there
gonna
are
say-
guys who wanted to play with the Maple Leafs, and I think examples
Johnny
of that.
Tavares
Did
John
you?
Tavares-
But JT
Yeah.
didn't take
John-
a discount.
John-
though.
Not early on.
Not early,
the
but
first one.
John
Give me-
Tavares
give me-
taking a discount.
okay, but-
How about Joe Thornton at the end of his
That
career? How
doesn't
about
count.
Spezza?
Those
Like,
guys
just-
are
these aren't
in their
made
late
up.
30s doesn't count. Give me a player like what McKinnon did with
Yeah.
Colorado, or like what
McDavid.
like McDavid, or what's his name in Tampa, Hagel.
Hagel, yeah.
6.5, right? So
Look at Mitch Marner as a perfect example.
Yeah.
He takes less to be. It's no state tax. That's a real thing. People are out there, and Bettman and Daly will say, no, it's not. That has nothing to do with it. Of course it has something to do with it. I signed in New York, I think it was like 1.8 a year. By the time I'm paying $10,000 for my rent and
Yeah.
this
City
and
tax.
city tax and all that, like I didn't have a choice because I got traded there.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather be in Vegas or Tampa or Dallas at 1.8. I'm going to get an extra couple $100,000 in my
But
my account.
let's factor in there are how many
State.
teams that have no state taxes right now?
but there's more than that too, because Alberta doesn't have provincial sales tax.
Yes, but how many people are banging down the door to go play with Connor McDavid right now?
Well,
right?
but I'm
How many
just-
people where amongst the no-fly list, respectfully speaking to the City of Champions from the 1980s, how many people are saying, you know what, I want to go play in Edmonton right now? It's probably right there with Winnipeg in terms of the least desirable places to play for hockey players.
You go to Winnipeg is because you have to go to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Yeah, an amazing fan base, right? Like if you win, like you're gone, but like
I mean, yeah.
It is a little cold.
I've never been, but I hear it's yeah.
yeah, but I hear
Winnipeg
what
is
you're
the
saying, but I think that there is, I don't think Toronto was immune to it. They also have, there are way more competitive advantages to being a Maple Leaf than other markets.
Some players aren't interested in that though, right? Some
Yeah.
players don't want the smoke. They don't
No.
want the noise. They don't want.
And if they don't want that,
Right?
then they're weak.
Then they shouldn't be. Then they should be here.
I agree with you. Then we want
They're
them.
weak.
We
You
wouldn't
don't
want
want
them
them
to be
anyways.
Leafs or any team. Like
Yes.
it's not just. It's not.
Agreed.
It's not a Leaf thing, you know. But okay, it is a factor. We'll say the Leafs tax.
Okay.
Okay. A small factor.
Okay.
All right. Now the other tax is that I mean, again, you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but like there is bias against the Leafs. I really do think so. Okay.
But you don't
There-
think the
there-
NHL wants the Leafs to do well with the
No,
market that it is?
they don't need the Leafs to do well.
They always
because-
want the big markets, though.
But regardless of what happens in Toronto, you know, whether they win or lose, they're making money and they're
Oh, yeah,
and they're.
yeah.
I mean, this year they weren't selling it, which was a new thing. But and everybody loves to hate the Leafs. Like when the Leafs go down, there's nothing better for the NHL's engagement. Okay, and you know I've talked about you know just certain things. Who is it that was suspended this year?
For the Leafs?
Yeah, I've done a bunch of side-by-side videos where it shows that it seems there's a history of the Leafs getting disciplined just a little harder than other teams. And you guys may think that's crazy, but it's out there, and I'll pull it up and I could show it. In a court of law, I could show it.
But I would also say, like, you look at Rod.
That too, I believe it.
That's it.
the court of law, I could show it.
I saw you speaking.
Connie loves
I saw you speaking.
I'm not gonna lie. When it goes to suspensions and George Peros, listen, half the time we're wrong. We're like, oh, this guy's getting 10 games, and like, oh, no suspension. That's a
Yeah.
$2,000 fine. Like, it's all over the map.
Right.
But this
Right.
year, like, I'm a big gambler, and I love
Well
it.
played.
I love it. Well played through Ozune.
Yes.
Big
But
Raptors fan.
I'm a huge Raptors
Yeah,
fan.
you love the Raptors.
Let's go,
How
Rod.
good was that the other
Yeah.
night? Off the
Great.
rim,
Oh,
straight
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Pow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Give me some money.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Daddy.
Yeah.
Didn't even need to watch the last
But
second.
like 3 years in a row, not this year, they were like plus 700, okay, to win the Stanley Cup. Like fourth in the league behind like Colorado and Dallas and Carolina, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Tampa's always up there. Mitch Marner, and I'm in group chats with my buddies. It's between Ottawa, Montreal, and Toronto, and it's ruthless, this group chat.
Yeah, I love that.
Especially towards Toronto, like you said.
Oh, of course.
They hate them.
Yeah.
This year, they get rid of Marner. Well, Marner leaves, doesn't get rid. He chooses to leave. And for the first year, they aren't plus 700 anymore. They were plus 1,400 to win the Stanley Cup. So Vegas and sportsbooks knew right away, because I'm reading on Twitter, oh, we're going to be just as good without Marner. You lose a 103-point guy.
It's probably me that tweeted that.
It was probably, yeah.
We're going to be all right. Don't worry, we got Matthias Michelli coming. It's going to be all right. Baby Mitch.
You're not replacing that. Everyone's like, oh, we're just as good. We don't need Mitch Marner. We're going to replace him by committee. But Vegas looks and lose Marner, and they go from plus 700 the year before to plus 1,400 to win the Cup. Okay, let's talk about the Marner thing, him leaving, and Leafs fans where they are now with what happened.
I think it was a toxic relationship that had to end. You know, it was just had to end. We had to go separate ways. You know, like you can't. That core had to be broken up, and the fact that it was Marner was the first one to fall, it was almost by default. It just so happened that he was the last one to get his contract. Tavares got his, then Matthews got his, then Nylander got his, and then when Mitchie came around, it was like, shit, can we really keep all these guys together? Can we really pay 4 guys 10 plus, or you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's almost like if things had been reversed, maybe if Mitchie got paid before Nylander, then maybe Nylander would have been the one out the door. Now, Mitchie definitely took more heat than anybody else come playoff time. And I mean, I don't care what anybody says, but he was a total fucking ghost in games 5, 6, and 7. Okay, and they all were. All the players were. Yeah. Okay, this wasn't. Leafs didn't fall on their face because of Mitch Marner, but when you're paid like a superstar, $12 million superstar, we're going to hold you to that level of accountability.
Level up.
That's all it is, right?
Are there any toxic relationships right now?
With the Leafs?
Yes.
Me and myself. Me and Leaf Nation and Keith Pelly.
Not a Keith fan?
No.
Why?
Not a hockey guy.
Not a hockey.
Not a hockey guy. Doesn't know anything about the game. You can't run an organization. Like, seriously, did he ever play? Does he come from a hockey background? No, he's a corporate guy that Rogers put in to
jack ticket prices up
to make money.
Yeah.
To make money. Rogers. This is the biggest problem with the Leafs. Okay, and we could talk about the fans and the players and the curses and this and that. We have an ownership group we're owned by the biggest company in Canada, more or less, one of them, right? And they own the Blue Jays, they own the TFC, they have the Argos, they have the Raptors, they've got everybody. Okay, it's like if you got 5 kids, okay. Can you give all 5 of those kids the same amount of love? It would be tough, right? Would be tough.
I love my daughter more than my son, so yeah, I understand.
Right, but
Yes. My daughters remind us all the time, you love her more than you love me.
Right, and it's not like it's not something that's done like intentionally. It's just like you can't. It's hard. It's hard to balance resources. It's hard to. Anyways, Rogers cares more about the Blue Jays, okay, and when it comes to the Leafs, I think they're just using them to try and chip away at their debt. Rogers has a ton of debt. They have a ton of debt. And that's why we saw this past season, they were making decisions to balance the books.
$1,000 flag waving?
Yeah, right?
What was that?
Oh,
no. I missed that.
So at some point during this past season, the Leafs realized that they were not going to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
And the attendance wasn't quite where it should have been.
Wasn't packed.
And they sat there and they were like, oh shit, we're going to miss out on that playoff revenue. How do we start to make that up?
Okay.
Not shit, should we bring a different GM in for the deadline? Should we think about replacing Berube? Should we maybe look at seriously some moves? Should we take the tanking more seriously? They should have taken the tanking more seriously. We wouldn't have had to be worried about if we're gonna. Well, actually, we don't know. If we keep this. Anyways, but they took away player discounts at the team store. They took away.
They did?
You guys know about these? You guys hear about this?
They did?
You didn't hear about this? Oh, it's my pleasure to inform you. They took away player and employee
discounts
and
gone.
family discounts at the restaurant and on team apparel. Family and friends ticket discounts gone. The kid that comes out and waves the flag, $1,000 please for that kid.
Hold on, he had to pay to do that?
Yeah. They were paying. They were charging kids to go be the flag guy.
They canceled the father's trip.
Oh, poor dad's got roasted too.
They canceled the father's trip.
That would have been tough for me because my dad left when I was 1. Never. He wouldn't have been on the. No. My mom.
I didn't know.
They made it a safe space for you.
I didn't know this was going to be therapy.
Okay, give me a hug here.
You're sitting down with Leaf fan here, buddy.
Okay.
Every day's therapy, you know?
So when does will Auston win a cup in Toronto?
Obviously, yeah. And he's going to hand it off to Matt Sundin first.
Yeah.
I had this vision when I was driving in here. I was like, you know, would sack a candidate to Bork?
Yeah.
You know? And it's
Yeah.
like, has there ever been anything like that? No, right? Like where the captain, that's the only time that's happened in history where the
Correct.
captain gave it to someone else to host. And
Will Matt have his gear on when that happens? Put his gear on.
good
come
question.
down,
Yeah,
right?
he might be.
Or is he in the suit?
He may be healthy or he may be hurt. Yeah. Yeah, I think we could see him passing it off to Matts. I don't know what's going to happen with Matthews. Like, I know he does.
Does he retire a Leaf?
We have to see what happens in the next year.
If you had to play something on Ozune.
Retire relief? No,
Right now.
because there are very few guys that play their whole careers with one team. Very, very few guys. I could see him. You know, if he does go somewhere, it would. You know, I could see him. One of the California teams. It'd be hilarious if he went to Vegas and teamed up with Marner. again.
boy.
I could see that happening.
You can,
somehow.
of course, we can all see. Yeah.
There is
Utah.
zero chance he wins one in Toronto, and he will go somewhere else very soon. Hey, that is happening.
Don't say zero, Barney. Give me something.
I'm going to be like Witt. 0.000 chance he wins one here. I think he is a very good player, a great player.
Mr. October?
But he is, he's not going to lead them to a Stanley Cup. And everyone, I said on a video that we do and put out on Twitter, everyone's like, oh, you're such a hater. I said, I don't hate any team. I really don't care who wins. I really don't. Doesn't matter to me. I like to see Buffalo go far. I'd love to see the Leafs win. It's not happening with Auston Matthews. They're like, well, he just won Olympic gold. I go, yeah, because he's with 18 other superstars that are equally as good, if not better than him, leading the charge. So, yeah, I enjoy. The curse is going to be a while. Yeah.
So I'm not comparing Matthews to Ovechkin. And no way am I doing that. There's only one Ovi. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And they play differently. But do you recall when they used to say the same thing about him in Washington at one point?
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
At one point it was like, Ovi's not a fucking leader. He's not a winner. He's not going anywhere. And then in 1 year they flipped it. Now that Washington team was good. Obviously really good. They had goaltending. They were deep. You can't. So I hear what you're saying, but 0%? No.
He could be part of a Stanley Cup team. I'm not saying he's never not going to win a Stanley Cup. I
He's
just don't
only
see
happening
it
in Toronto.
in Toronto now because of where his contract is, the noise around it, and I think he wants to win here. But if it doesn't happen soon, it's going to be like McDavid. Bye bye.
Well, yeah, and I think that they intentionally. I mean, they have the same agent, right?
Oh yeah.
And they both made sure that they were walking into free agency in 2028 at the same time. Yeah. I think to maybe do
Team up.
maybe do what LeBron did, you know?
Taking their talents to South Beach.
Yeah.
There's either Panthers are landing in 2028. There you go. You're
We'll be
calling.
covering it.
Yeah.
In the crease. We'll be covering it.
Yeah.
The decision, part 2.
Decision part 2, yes, hockey edition. Thanks so much for doing this. Last one for everybody here. Give us an exact year when this curse will end.
So you know how all the kids have been doing 6-7 for the last year,
course, yeah.
right? Maybe that means something. 2026, 27 for the Leafs. You know what I mean? Hey,
Barney?
listen.
They won't even
The
make the
60
playoffs in
year
26,
Yeah, I know. They
27.
probably want to make the playoffs. But listen, there's been a lot of teams. Okay, so when St. Louis
Maybe
won the cup,
36, 37.
St. Louis won the cup. They did it in a year. No one expected them to do it. Okay. Same with Washington that year after a number of failures. Now the Leafs are finished bottom 5. And they probably won't make the playoffs this year, but. God damn it, we're gonna hope, we're gonna believe, and we'll never stop loving. We'll never stop loving the boys.
Don't stop
believing. Yes.
Where can people find you on social? Hockey Illuminati.
Everywhere on social, Hockey Illuminati, and with the Clearing the Crease fellas from time to time as well.
There you go.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me, fellas. This was great. Yeah.
There he is,
Thank
the
you.
Hockey Illuminati. Also check out the Our Year series as well. He is Frank Krupe, the Hockey Illuminati. He's Razor. He's Barney. He's Kami. I'm Cebulski. See you next time on the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozune.
Yeah.
Well played.